A brood of piping plover chicks have successfully fledged at Red River Beach in Harwich.
This year we had a successful pair of piping plovers nest, 4 eggs hatched, and so they had their full brood, and we haven't had much success at this beach in the past. So as far as the parking lot's concerned, the nest was on the beach, and that's where the birds spend a lot of their time, but right over across from the parking lot, down at that further end, is a marsh where they do a lot of their foraging, so that's where they eat. So for the first 25, 30 days, the chicks can't fly to that marsh, they have to walk across the parking lot. So to make sure they don't get disturbed or hit by a car or anything, we close the parking lot.
In June, a third of Red River Beach parking was sectioned off to allow the 4 baby plovers to feed in nearby marshes undisturbed. Residents and visitors were for the most part unaffected by the closure.
Some of the dune paths were closed off just to keep people out of the habitat of the plovers. But other than that, the beach was still open. You could walk end to end. You could still walk down to the parking lot. So people who like to just walk the parking lot in the morning still had free access to do that.
Since 1986, the Atlantic coast population of piping plovers have been federally listed as threatened. Cape Cod has been doing its part to encourage their numbers to grow.
Cape Cod's the largest nesting area for piping plovers, so we really do a lot of the breeding grounds that are responsible for the whole population down the East Coast. The more numbers they have, possibly the less restrictions that will be placed on them in the future. It's also a good thing to keep them protected because they are what's called an umbrella species, so if they are protected, then it also protects terns and the beach habitat and all sorts of nesting seabirds and things like that. If we keep those restrictions to help the plovers, it also helps Cape Cod overall.
Although the Red River Beach plovers have successfully fledged, other nests could still be around.
If you come across the nest and it's not within a fenced-in area, it would be best to call the town or Mass Audubon so that we could put a fence around it just to keep people a safe distance from it. The eggs are very small, they're very hard to see, they look just like sand. So if you come across one and it's not marked off, it's really likely that someone else won't be looking down and will step on it. It's best just to avoid the dunes in general. The symbolic fencing is still up, so we ask that you don't cross into that area.
For Cape Media News, I'm Gabrielle Rawson.